Good morning. Today I'd like to share with you a children's book. It's entitled You Hold Me and I'll Hold You. I'll be reading portions of this book, which is by Joe Carson. We were at home. Daddy was cooking. Helen was watching TV. I wanted to be watching TV, but I was supposed to be cleaning up my room. I put stuff under my bed already, but Daddy said that wasn't cleaning up, and then I got under the bed and Daddy got mad, and so I was cleaning up my room for real. I hate cleaning up my room. The phone rang, and I thought it might be for me, so I went down to the kitchen, but I wasn't supposed to because I hadn't finished cleaning up my room, but I needed to know who was calling and if they wanted to talk to me. They didn't. It was for Daddy. He said, "Oh no, I'm sorry to hear it." When Daddy hung up, he said we'd get in the car and drive to Tennessee. He said we'd take our Sunday clothes because we were going to a memorial service. What's a memorial service? My Aunt Anne died, said Daddy. We'll go to church for her tomorrow. Then he asked if I'd finished my room yet, and I asked what was going to happen if I hadn't, and he said it sounded to him like I better go back and work some more. The next day, we drove to Grandpa's house in Tennessee. Aunt Anne was his sister. Helen and I changed into our clothes. Daddy tied a towel around my neck before I could eat lunch because he said people were going to be looking at me and I had to stay clean all the way down to my socks. Helen had a towel tied around her neck as well, and Helen doesn't usually have to do what I have to do. She's older. We went to a church. Grandpa and Grandma Jan went with us. Jan's not my real grandma, but she's just as good. A person Daddy knew but I didn't said, "The family is in the chapel," and pointed down a hall. It didn't look like family to me. I didn't know anybody except Daddy and Helen and Jan and Grandpa. People seemed to like me though, so that part was okay. Then everybody got into a line and went to the big room of the church and sat down all together. Jan was next to Grandpa, I was next to Jan, Helen was next to me, and then Daddy. I'm getting to the hard part next. The preacher was saying all the stuff he thought of, and I looked at Jan, and she was crying. I didn't know Jan ever cried, and Grandpa was crying. And I looked at Daddy, and he was crying. Helen saw them too, and I got the feeling that's wondering how sorry I have to get. Jan asked if I wanted to be held, and I said yes, and she lifted me onto her lap. She whispered that it's all right to cry. It was a sad occasion. She said, "You've been sad before too, haven't you?" And I said, yes, I had. I was about to cry, and I make noise. What I really wanted was for Daddy to hold me. And he knew. He held out his arms, and I got into his lap, and he whispered, "You hold me, and I'll hold you." It was good to be held, and it was good to be holding too. You hold me, and I'll hold you. And as you go into this day, know that God is with you.